Hey Queens, I'm Bailey. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Today I'm going to be going over the 4 eyeshadow palettes that I was using in July and then show you the ones I plan on using in August. Don't forget to hit subscribe, hit that notification bell. I want to hit that like button because it would help your girl out. All right, let's get started. So I started this thing, if you watched the beginning of July, started this thing where I was going to take 4 palettes and just kind of focus on them, get some use out of them, kind of see how I feel about them, because I have over 50 eyeshadow palettes and only 2 eyes, and Lord knows that some of my palettes get neglected, so that's why I'm rotating through my eyeshadow palettes. And the 4 that I was using in July is the Flower Beauty Jungle Lights palette, the Violet Voss Sun-Kissed Lime Crime Venus XL, and the Ace Beauté Floral Vintage palette. So let's get into these. So first off, I've got the Ace Beauté Floral Vintage palette. I think I use this palette probably the most, just because it had a good variety of mattes. However, I will say sometimes some of these like browns are not what I expected them to be. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm just dumb, but they just went on my eyes a little bit differently, and I don't know. I still really like the palette, and the formula itself is good. I just feel like the shades are not always what you expect them to be. I didn't use any shimmers. I used these 2 once together and I thought they were very beautiful. But other than that, I mainly used the mattes and really enjoyed the formula. The shades just sometimes are not always what you expect them to be, which can be surprising when you expect them to be a certain way. But other than that, I really do love this palette. The Venus XL palette, I didn't use a lot. I'm not going to lie. I tried out these 2 shades for a look, and I don't know why I expected them to be more cool tone, but they were definitely on the warm side. And then I used these 2 shades as well, and this Goddess shade oxidized on me, and I don't know if maybe it's my primer, if it's eyeshadow or what, but it went on really bright and then became darker as the day went on. Still don't know how I feel about this palette. I found it very hard to reach for it. It was hard to incorporate in my daily routine, which I figured that would kind of be an issue since it's mostly like pinks. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know about this palette still. The Violet Voss Sun-Kissed palette, I don't know. I probably use this as much as I use the Floral Vintage palette. I really, really love this palette. I think it's very beautiful. I love these 2 shades together. The yellows are very nice. I love the shimmers. It's a nice palette. I like it. I like Violet Voss's formula. Their packaging is always questionable. We know this. Don't know who designs the packaging, but they need to get someone else. Because how in the world does zebra print and sun-kissed go together? How does that work? Someone was not thinking, but anyways, I digress. The Flower Beauty Jungle Lights palette is possibly one of my most favorite palettes, even though it is just shimmers, and I do love to have mattes in my looks. I can always bring in shades from other eyeshadow palettes or my singles or whatever, but these shimmers are just extraordinary. So incredible that I desperately want the Desert Lights palette, and I really, 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 really wish I would just jump on it. And I know I said I wanted to use the purple. I did use this purple. It's stunning. It's beautiful. It blows my mind. I've got a great dip going on in that green shade over there. This is a good palette. Like, this is so good. So good. So then the 4 palettes that I want to use for the month of August, I've got the Milani All-Inclusive Eye, Cheek, and Face palette. I believe this is the light to medium. Yes, this is the light to medium. This one leans very peachy. It has the blushes, it has the highlight, the bronzer, and then the 3 eyeshadow shades. I do really like this palette. The bronzer and the highlight are not my favorite. I think that's because the highlight, I feel like the highlight's just a little too deep, but maybe that's just me. It's still very beautiful and usable. So I kind of just wanted to use this to get some use on the face products as well as these shadows in here. So that's why I'm bringing that in. Okay. The Wet n Wild Little Twin Stars palette, the Cotton Candy Clouds palette. I just love these characters so much. They are so adorable. I love the little bunnies. I love the pastels. It's just so cute, okay? So then I know there's like half of it's got these the blues, the purples and the pinks and the glitters, and I can't necessarily wear those to work. I get that. You know, there are weekends and I can use it on the weekends, but I love these neutral shades. I know there are way too many. There should be a pastel matte pink in here, but it's okay. But I love these neutral shades. I think they're so beautiful. And this chocolate brown matte is very nice as well. I don't think it was needed, but I do really love using the neutrals in this palette. I love the artificial strawberry in this palette. It's so delicious. But these neutrals, I don't know why, they are as boring as vanilla ice cream. Okay, they are so boring, but when a girl is doing business casual every day, you know, and you gotta look professional and put together, I have to go for the vanilla stuff, you know? And these are just good. Like, I like this formula, I love this palette, and I really do hope I get the chance to work into the colors as well. So we will see. Then there is the Dido Venus palette. I got this in a BoxyCharm, and I want to play with some of these formulas. These formulas are very unique. You've got this weird marbly one, and it's chunky. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I wonder if it's pretty on the eye. And then you've got this weird, like, there's different, I don't know, it's definitely not a matte. It's more of a creamy sort of situation, but when you mix it all together, that's what it looks like there. And then there's some duochromes in here. There's just some beautiful shades in here, and I really want to play with some of these shimmers. There's only 3 mattes in here, a beige, a terracotta, and this really deep creamy purple sort of situation. I just want to play with it. I want to use each of these shimmers at least once, and I just want to know what they are like. I just want to play with this some more. So then the last palette is probably one of my favorite palettes of all time, but I do not condone purchasing it. I will never recommend this to anybody. It's the Morphe Jaclyn Hill Volume 1 palette. This is the original palette, not the new formula that they made for it. That's essentially not as good. I no longer support Morphe for numerous reasons. I won't go into detail. I no longer support Jaclyn Hill as well. Also won't go into detail because this is about the makeup. So, gosh, I have 10 pans in this eyeshadow palette. There are 35 shades and I have 10 pans. If that doesn't tell you how much I love this palette, I don't know what will. I love this as a summer palette. I think it's absolutely beautiful for the summer. It's beautiful for the fall as well. I love it during that time. I haven't reached for it in a while, and I really want to. I want to show it some more love. One day I do want to essentially get so much use out of it that I'm like, okay, it's time. It needs to leave your collection. But right now, I'm still gonna enjoy it because I spent good, hard-earned money on it, and I'm not just gonna throw it out because I no longer support the brand or the creator. So, yes, this is what I plan on playing with this month. All right, just to do a little recap of what I plan on playing with, we've got the Dido Venus palette. We've got the Cotton Candy Clouds Wet n Wild palette, the Milani All-Inclusive palette, and the Morphe Jaclyn Hill Volume 1 palette. I'm excited. I desperately needed something new. I was getting bored with these 4 palettes over here. I mean, it had only been, I was 2 or 3 weeks in, and I already was like, is it time for me to like, you know, pick out some other palettes? I'm kind of just bored. Okay, so that's pretty much it without, you know, saying the same thing over and over again. I hope you guys enjoy these videos. I'm enjoying going through my collection and playing with different stuff, and putting some focus on stuff that maybe is not getting a lot of love. So don't forget to hit subscribe, hit that notification bell. Everyone hit that like button because it would help your girl out. You guys have a good one now. Bye-bye.